Hello, everybody. All right, welcome to the Mikestand. Um, basically, we're almost towards the end of the month here. Hopefully everybody's having a good week thus far. I'm gonna put some music on, take care of a couple of things real quick, and then when I get back, we'll probably start talking about what will be on tap for tonight and everything as we, of course, wait for more people to show up. So, with that being said, let me go ahead. Music on. Right back. I'm back, so just gonna wait a few more minutes, give you a chance to pop in and say hi. Always, if you guys can like and share the stream, um, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free, of course, to comment and or ask questions. I will go ahead and answer the questions to the best of my ability. Anyways, I think you have something here. All right. So, anyways, where are we at right now? 3.5 minutes. So, all right. So it'd be at least a good time to kind of chime in with what's on tap for tonight. So I'll be going over 4 articles tonight. 3 from Bounding into Comics, and then 1 from Bleeding Fool. Of course, we are at the very end of March here, getting ready to get into April here. So there's a lot of news coming out about the upcoming releases, for upcoming spring releases, in the anime season. So I guess a new season of Blue Lock is looking to come out. Also, Digimon Adventures 02 and My Hero Academia. And then also, apparently, there was a robbery at a Hall of Heroes Museum, I believe. So we'll be looking at that too. That's the Bleeding Full Con. That will be a little later on. Let's see now. So 4.5 minutes. And of course, don't forget this Friday, of course, we will, RJ Carter will be joining me as we will be going over comics that went on sale from September 1939. This week we'll be introducing everybody to Lev Gleason, and we'll be reading through Silver Streak, Volume 1, Number 1. So I was previewing it the other day with some interesting stuff that I noticed, and I look forward to sharing that with everybody. And now with all that, let's see. Now we've hit the 5-minute mark, so going to go ahead and get started on the articles here then. Um, as I said, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to ask, comment or ask questions. I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Anyways, let's get started here. Digimon Adventure 02, The Beginning, unveils new trailer, character designs, and Japanese release date. Article by Nerdigans Inc., published yesterday. With the story of Digimon Adventure 01's Digidestined having finally come to an end, it is finally for their successors to return to the spotlight in front and the big screen. With Digimon Adventure 02, The Beginning. Making their first appearance since the controversial ending scene of Last Evolution Kizuna, Daisuke, or Davis for those who watch the English dub, and crew returned to action in a new trailer for The Beginning, unveiled on March 24th at the Anime Japan 2023 Expo. So that March 24th, that would have been, last Friday, I believe. 2 years after Tai, and Yamato, Matt, fought alongside their Digimon partners, Agumon and Gabumon, to end the world-ending threat posed by Aosmon in the aforementioned Last Evolution Kizuna. The trailer not only highlights the returning Digidestined, but I think that's supposed to be awesome. I think that there was a couple typos that would appear, but also provides a further glimpse at a mysterious new character named Rui Owada, who is voiced in the Japanese by Megumi Ogata, who provides the voice of Hanako-kun in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, so the title character from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, who, according to the film's initial announcement teaser, claims to be the world's very first Digidestined. There it is right there. In addition to the trailer, Toei Animation also released character designs for the 20-year-old versions of Daisuke Davis Motomiya, who is voiced in the Japanese by Fukujuro Katayama, who provides the Japanese voice for Sumimaru in Fushigi Tagashiya Zenitendo. Ken Ichio Joji, who also voices Arthur Lounsbury in Udias Arthur Lounsbury or Udias Velgar in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. Miyako Yole Inoue, who's voiced by Ayaka Asai, who I guess provides the voice of the Valak family in Mary Mashita Iruma-kun. Iori Cody Hida, who is voiced by Yoshitaka Yamaya, who provides the voice of Reed Shax and Mari Mashita Iruma-kun. Takaru TK Takashi, who is voiced in the Japanese by Junya Inoki, who also provides the voice of Naoya Mukai in Kanojo Mo Kanojo, and Hikari Kari Yagami, who's voiced in the Japanese by Mao Ichimichi, who provides the voice of Madoka in Me and Roboco. Try saying all that 3 times fast, folks. uh, that stuff can be a tongue twister, can it? Hello, you fool, I love you. You want to join? And for whoever came in to give me a like and a share, I appreciate that. Anyways, moving on to the next part of the article here. Alongside the Digidestined are their respective Digimon partners. Vmon, who is voiced by Junko Noda, who provided the voice of Shiro Emiya in the Fate Stay Night franchise. Wormmon, who is voiced by Naozumi Takahashi, who provided the voice of Bunta Marui in the Prince of Tennis. Hawkmon, who is voiced by Koichi Tochika, who also provided the voice of Yokota in Uzumaki. And I believe that's the movie Uzumaki. That's not has nothing to do with Naruto. Let's see, Armadimon, who is voiced in the Japanese by Megumi Uora, who of course provides the Japanese voice for Roronoa Zoro in One Piece. Patamon, who is voiced by Miwa Matsumoto, who also provides the voice of Chiharu Mihara in Cardcaptor Sakura, and Gatomon, who is voiced in the Japanese by Yuka Tokumitsu. So here we all go right here. The film also received a new teaser visual featuring Daisuke, who is voiced by Davis, and Vmon smiling at each other, while Rui standing alone and clutching a Digivice, and the digital version of Tokyo hover above. On the right, a simple sentence reads, quote, "The beginning was just one wish," unquote. Wow. So that's kind of what it is right there. Look at that. Providing comments to the movie's official website, director Tomohisa Taguchi gave fans insight into how the production team came up with the story of Digimon 02 The Beginning. Quote, "We started talking about the future of Digimon Adventure, um, and that's how we began the story," unquote, Taguchi stated. Quote, "There are already many stories in Digimon Adventure that lead to a certain predetermined future," unquote. Yeah, that's kind of the thing about writing prequels, right? Everything has to lead up to the current timeline, right? Figure out, well, how do we get from A to B there? uh, anyways, quote, "Among them, we discussed with the producer and many other staff members what kind of story was necessary for the chosen children," unquote. He continued, quote, "We created a story that only they can save, with the O2 members as the core of the story. Taguchi further asserted that the beginning would feature, quote, a completely different story from Last Evolution Kizuna, unquote, a story that can only be told by the members of O2, unquote, he elaborated. Quote, the new character, Rui, has a very important role in Digimon Adventure, unquote. If he's like one of the first Digidestin, I would say, yeah, that is kind of important. The idea of where it all began, right? Concluding with a message to the fans, the director signed off, quote, we hope that you will look forward to a great story that will defy your expectations of the lively O2 members and the new edition Rui, unquote. Digimon Adventures O2, the beginning, will activate in Japanese theaters on October 27th. Wow, okay, so this is basically a movie there. All right, so that was a pretty decent sized article there. All right, so getting ready to move on to the next article. Here's the next one. Here's the next one we are going to we're going to look at here. Shueisha drops new teaser officially confirming production of My Hero Academia Season 7. Article by Nerdigans published yesterday in the anime manga section. Alright. With Izuku Midoriya's Dark Hero phase coming to a close, Shueisha has officially confirmed that the American patriotism led seventh season of My Hero Academia is heading into production. On March 25th, which was last Saturday, immediately following the conclusion of the series' sixth season, audiences were presented with a montage recapping Class 1A's efforts in the war. As the montage plays out, a glowing outline of a determined Deku, wearing the cloak entrusted to him by Gran Torino, is overlapped on top of it. Ultimately, the entire thing closes out with Deku declaring, quote, I'm not alone, we will win together, unquote. Illustrated by series character designer Yoshihiko, the outline illustration was later posted to the series' official website. Here's something right there. Continuing the series' ostensible final storyline, the next season of My Hero Academia will not only see the heroes escalate their efforts in the war against All for One and Shigaraki, but also find Deku truly embracing the powers that make up his quirk. But perhaps most excitingly, in light of her arrival via jet fighter to the front lines in the season 6 finale, the ongoing fight will see a renewed charge led by America's number one hero, the patriotic Stars and Stripes, who is voiced in the Japanese by Romy Park, of course, known for providing the voice of Tao Men in Shaman King Flowers, but also, of course, Edward Elric in the Japanese voice of Edward Elric in both of the Full Metal Alchemist animes. The first one that wasn't quite true to the manga, and then Brotherhood. In the March 26th issue of Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 17, the voice actors for Deku, in the Japanese voice actors, Daiki Yamashita, who provides the voice of Naoto Senpai Paizen, Hachioji, and Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, and Bakugo, who is voiced in the Japanese by Nobuhiko Okamoto, who also provides the voice of Genya Shinazu, the Japanese voice for Genya Shinazugawa in Demon Slayer, thanked fans for their support of the My Hero Academia anime and offered their thoughts on the series' most recent events, translated by Anime Hunch. Yeah, make a hunch on anime, right? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Alrighty then, as we continue on here, of course. Quote, in the 6th season, I tried to know what was going to happen when I read the scripts for each episode. But there were so many things that happened that made me feel a lot of emotions, unquote. Yamashita reflected on My Hero Academia's emotionally charged last season. Obviously, that's not the last, what I think, meaning most recent in this case. Quote, in that context, it was a story that recaptured the meaning of the title, My Hero Academia, unquote. He acknowledged, quote, I really felt the friendship and growth of Deku and the other members of Class 1A, which gave me more strength, unquote. Quote, I would like you to look forward to seeing the boys, girls, and adults who have grown through the 6 seasons and progressed further in the 7th season, unquote, the voice actor added. Quote, we will continue to perform with plus ultra energy. So please continue to support My Hero Academia. Now, isn't that just, again, that had such a stark difference, talking about these Japanese seiyuu or voice actors, the anime creators, the mangakas, such a refreshing and different attitude from those here in the States, the voice actors and the comic creators in the States here. These people truly love their fans and truly want to go out of their way to put on a good performance for them, entertain them. Not get caught up in a bunch of political BS, but just go out and entertain them. Go out and tell a good story. Whereas we have people here in the States like Dan Slott and, and Sean Schemmel, Christopher Sabat, and DC Douglas, and Tom Taylor and Tom King, who just want to go out and just dump on fans. Huh. Likewise, Okamoto graciously asserted, quote, first of all, thank you very much for watching the 6th season, unquote. Quote, for those of you who have been watching My Hero Academia up until now, I'm sure there have been a lot of surprises, unquote. Quote, the key success for Bakugo, where when he sacrificed himself, saved Deku in episode 122, Bakugo Katsuki Rising, in parentheses there, and when he apologized to Deku in episode 136, in parentheses there, Deku versus Class 1A, unquote, he explained, quote, the only difference was that in episode 122, his body moved without thinking. On the other hand, in episode 136, he spoke out of his own free will. Quote, in the last episode, there was a new character and a direction that led to the next season, unquote. The voice actor then teased, quote, Deku, who had been moving toward the dark side, came back to the light. In a sense, this is a fresh start. Please look forward to the 7th season, unquote. Now that is quite refreshing, right? When they ask you to look forward to this 7th season, like they're telling you, please come watch our show. We really want you. We really love it when you guys get into our shows, get into our mangas. We appreciate you. You know, American creators, many American creators could take some good lessons here, right? Many of the voice actors, ADR staff, comic book creators, comic book writers, all that. You can take some good lessons from the Japanese here. Details on the broadcast schedule for My Hero Academia's 7th season will be announced at a later date. Yeah. So, of course, as I said, over probably the next couple weeks here, we'll probably be here, you know, because now, you know, the Japanese winter anime season is basically coming to an end at this point, and now we're getting into the spring. And you're going to start hearing about some of the releases that will be coming out here in the spring here. So, with that, let's get over to the next article here. Let's see, where are we at on time here? 28 minutes, okay. And as I said, if anything catches your attention, feel free to comment or ask questions. I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Blue Lock announces 2nd season cinematic adaptation of spin-off manga, episode Nagi. Article by Nerdigans published yesterday. It looks like the egos of Isagi Yoichi and his fellow strikers are set to burn even brighter, as the hit anime adaptation of Muneyuki Kamashiro and Yusuke Nomura's Blue Lock has recently been confirmed to be staying off the bench in favor of dashing headfirst into even more action. Wow. Following the conclusion of the anime's 1st season finale, Studio 8-Bit shared a 15-second trailer of the series official to the series official website. So they're really pumping this out there. This Blue Lock anime, which I guess is what we would call soccer, what internationally it's called football type of anime. Announcing that Blue Lock would be receiving both a 2nd season as well as a cinematic adaptation of its spin-off manga, episode Nagi. Well, In the second season of Blue Lock, the eponymous training program's current recruits will be faced with the possibility of their entire operation being shut down. That is, unless the chosen members of the Blue Lock 11 can beat Japan's U20 team, as led by Sai Itoshi. Hmm. Not only does a victory for the 11 mean keeping the program's door open, but it would also net the team an opportunity to advance their dreams of becoming the world's best strikers and represent their country in the World Cup. All right. Interesting. Uh, The official Blue Lock anime website also released the casting information for the new players that fans can look forward to seeing on the field in season 2. Fan favorite soccer demon Ryusei Shido, who is voiced in the Japanese by Yuichi Nakamura, who provides the voice of Andy in Undead Unlock, is the number 2 ranked player in Blue Lock. A man who considers playing soccer to be his biological necessity, Shido is the only other striker besides Rin Itoshi to have scored a goal against the elite World Select International team. The third ranked Tabito Karasu, the Japanese word for crow, mind you, who is voiced in the Japanese by Makoto Furukawa, who also provides the voice of Taiju Oki in Dr. Stone, has a reputation for utilizing his sharp analytical skills to pinpoint and then thoroughly crush the opposing team's weak spot. Oh, wow. Wow, what a demented little mind, huh? When Karasu distracts the while Karasu distracts the opponent, the number 4 ranked Eta Shadow Striker Toya, who is voiced in the Japanese by Kengo Karanishi, who also provides the voice of Muichiro Tokito in Demon Slayer, makes use of his ninja lineage to swoop in from the shadows and steal goals. And that, I guess, is him right there, with the green strand of green portion of hair on the front there, with the rest of it being white or silver, I guess, platinum. One of the three is right, I guess, if not all three. Ah, so folks. Let's see. Meanwhile, the 5th ranked Kenyu Yukimiya, who's voiced in the Japanese by Takuya Iguchi, who provides the voice of Dot Barrett and Mashley, is a pacifist mobile striker who relies on his physique and speed to dance around and push past anyone who stands in his way. All right, so what I guess they mean by a pacifist striker here, I guess strikers are the goal scorers in soccer, and this guy, as opposed to getting physical with other players, like trying to tackle him, slide tackle him or whatever, or get hooked up with him, he'll dance around. He'll either pass off to other players or he'll like dance around people in order to get to the goal, which would probably require quite a bit of agility on his part. But in regards to episode Nagi, the cinematic film will focus on the events of the eponymous spin-off, which retells the story of the main series from the perspective of soccer prodigy Seishiro Nagi, beginning with his inspiration by Mikage Reo, and going all the way through to his joining of Blue Lock. Oh boy. In commemoration of episode Nagi receiving an anime adaptation, its mangaka Kota Sanomiya produced a new illustration depicting Nagi and Mikage opening a party ball in celebration of the news. Yay! It's an episode Nagi movie, quote unquote, Sanomiya proclaimed in a message shared alongside the image, translated by Deepel. Quote, we believe that this was decided thanks to all of you. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's just so refreshing to hear gratitude and hear appreciation for people who appreciate their work. That is something to be said, isn't it? Okay. As of this writing, 8-Bit has yet to confirm release dates for either Blue Lock Season 2 or episode Nagi. Those will be coming soon, unless they're planning to release them a little later in the year, they're not going to release them in the spring here. They might release them in July as part of the summer lineup or as part of the fall lineup in October. So in Japan, they have basically 4 seasons, as it were. Some of them, they go about 12 to 13 episodes. Some animes run 24 to 26 episodes. Of course, go two of the so winter releases usually come out in January, and then in April you get the spring releases, summer releases in July, and then October is the fall releases. Let me see here now. Let's see where we at on time. We are at 30. I think it's 38 minutes, I believe. Just to get to those 3 articles, so. Yeah, 38 minutes. Alright, so let's see. Let's see, are we ready to... maybe. I'm going to make some lighting adjustments here. So I'll be right back, put some music on, so I'm not just doing dead air here while I'm doing that. All right, so from the looks of it, looks like I can actually don't have to turn on my light yet. Here is things are looking to get a little brighter here, but pretty soon. That's the tricky part about this time of year, right? We get into daylight savings time, and then you know and of course when our show is on, when the show is on, of course, um, it get a little tricky because you don't know exactly when the sun is going to start to go down to the point to where you need extra lighting, but it will happen during the show at some time. So figuring out actually when that is a little bit more of the trick. So, anyways, go to our article we'll be doing tonight. Which we have a very interesting article we'll be going over as the Hall of Heroes Museum was apparently robbed. The Hall of Heroes Museum robbed of rare first edition comics. Article by Avi Green published earlier today. Hall of Heroes Superhero Museum. Wonder where that is. Huh. Let's see. The Moultrie Observer reports that a museum dedicated to superhero comics history was sadly robbed of some valuable old copies. Yeah, that sucks. Amid the quietude of early Sunday morning, police report thieves broke into the world's only museum of comic superheroes, escaping with 50 rare copies of books worth thousands of dollars. Included in the heist were first editions of Captain America, X-Men, Hulk, and Iron Man, said museum director and owner Alan Stewart. That's just, yeah, yeah. Let's break into a museum and just rob a museum of some tremendous historical historically valued comics. Yeah, let's deprive everybody of the opportunity to be able to see those on display for whatever stupid selfish reason there was for pulling it off. Um, Said museum director and owner. Okay, police determined I think they meant to type in theft there. Theft likely involved more than one culprit. Quote, we are heartbroken and sick that someone would break into our nonprofit museum and steal this valuable history that we are dedicated to preserve and share, unquote, said Stewart. Yeah, that is kind of that is kind of poopy. That is kind of poopy. Let's do something real quick here. Anyways, I'm gonna go off camera here for a quick moment. Gotta check something real quick. Hearing some noises outside, so I'll be right back. All right. Anyways, getting back to the article here. A tourist attraction in this northern Indiana city. So at least that we have an idea now where it's at, northern Indiana. Um, the museum features rare copies of Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, and many other iconic comic books. Wonder which Captain Marvel they're talking about. Are they talking about Billy Batson Captain Marvel that was originated by Fawcett, bought up um, by DC, and now it's called Shazam? Or are they talking about Marvel's? I guess it would be the Billy Batson one because that would be the more historical one. Um, that's definitely terrible a thing to happen. And the worst part, Stewart said the museum had hosted its annual convention earlier this month with over 100 vendors attending. He said the irreplaceable comic books were not insured. Quote, the collection is very, very expensive to insure. Of course, because these are legendary books. He said, quote, we are a small nonprofit and we don't have the funding to insure, unquote. Um, quote, they stole history, unquote, he said of the thieves. Quote, they didn't just steal stuff, unquote. Mm-hmm. It's surely a vital question. Where could the criminals sell this stuff? On the black market? Are there any corrupt millionaires who'd buy them? It's a good question. For now, it's terrible that a museum, the most ideal place where these valuable artifacts should be seen, has suffered from burglary of history. And there's no telling if the old pamphlets will ever be recovered. We can only hope the museum staff will be able to obtain better security in the future to preserve and protect all the classics they still have there. The museum has launched a GoFundMe page to try to recoup their losses. Yeah, I mean, stealing history. Come on, people. Anyways, with that was all the articles we are going to read. Let's see where we're at on time here. 15 minutes. So we got a few more minutes. Maybe I will try to see if there is one more article here we can maybe kind of look at. Let's see what else was in. Yeah, I know. Reign of Ages is actually being. RJ was doing that one. I think tonight. Let's see. And then opinions. All right. So, anyways, yeah, that not really a whole lot here. So, anyways, we're at, let's see, we're at 50. So we actually made some good time then with all of this. Okay, now we're getting dim. So, all right, I'm gonna turn on the music again for a couple minutes while I take care of the lighting situation in here. I knew this was coming, just didn't know when exactly. So, I'll be right back. All right, so some crazy stuff there, huh? Stealing from a museum. That's really, it's really kind of, and it would be very hard for them to if they were looking to try to sell those comics. Probably would be, probably would be a very difficult thing to do because people would know right away, what was up. So, anyway, so let's see now. What do we got? A few minutes here. Want to wait till the top of the hour before we start doing the wrestling wrap up. Is we do have some more. Have quite a bit of news going on. You know, as I've mentioned before, of course, as I've been mentioning the last couple of days, of course. Um, WrestleMania is this week, and with that, of course, a lot of other a number of other promotions are doing stuff this weekend as well. Some of them alongside WWE. So, as I said, I know. Let's see. I'm just waiting for 50. We got WrestleMania coming up this weekend. AEW has Dynamite tonight, of course. Um, I'll go over more of the results tomorrow, even though they're probably already posted. Um, let's see. Impact Wrestling will have a live Impact show tomorrow from LA, as well as having a pay per view Multiverse United. Only the strong survive with New Japan. You got Super Card of Honor happening on Friday night, along with the WWE. Alongside the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, and then of course this weekend, Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday, you have WrestleMania. So you have all that happening, this week leading up to this weekend. So, anyways, that's gonna. Hmm. anyways, we'll go over, as I said, we'll go over those results tomorrow night. But as you all know, let's see. So 56. I'm just trying to stretch this out a little bit. Don't want to start going into details on the wrestling news until like we hit about the 1 hour mark. So, anyways, last night, was a pretty good time in which we went over some animation history, from the United States during the television era. Learned about some of the studios that, including, of course, Hanna-Barbera, Filmation, Jay Ward, Disney, of course. But anyways, let's see, 57 minutes. And of course, I'll have more. There were a total of, I think, like 5 or 6 stories I could have done tonight from Bounding into Comics, but I wanted to split them up a bit, so that we'd have stuff to cover for tomorrow as well. And if they add even more stories there, that would be interesting to see. We might see what happens when we get to that point. Let's see. Let's see now. So let's see. 57 minutes, almost 58 minutes. Let's see. Well, I'd say, if you have any questions or have any comments, feel free to comment or ask questions. I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Let's see. What else can we talk about? I already mentioned, of course, that we're getting to the point now where we are getting to the point where we're getting close to time for the spring releases over in Japan. The winter season's finishing up. The finales are happening this week. So probably starting next week, you're going to start hearing more and more about more stuff coming out. We'll be covering. Of course, we'll cover as much as we can find. Anime side of it. There's also seems to be a lot of comics release information. I know RJ had Sam Quinton from Sinopa publishing on earlier, promoting his new book coming out. Chris Tomolovich has his manga series. They'll be doing a launch party this Saturday. So you'll want to be looking out for that. Rick Piper from Cross Comics is working on his book as well. So lots going on. Yeah, so let's see. What else is going on? Let's see. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, be ready for your act. Don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, yeah, here are you. You're ready and you're willing. And we can count on you, be Scooby-Doo. You know we'll catch that villain. All right, so now we've hit the hour mark. We're at an hour here, or just past it. So I will go ahead and start with the wrestling wrap-up here. And we do have quite a bit of news to go over, as I was mentioning. So WWE, looks like there's a few things going on. Now, according to Logan Paul, his contract with the WWE will be up after WrestleMania. He may be leaving WWE after WrestleMania. And with some of the other recent, there's a lot, now granted, we don't know how much of this is true because they've also been talking about the idea of pushing a Logan Paul John Cena match for SummerSlam. So you'll need to stay tuned for that. Let's see. There is some concern that maybe Vince McMahon is slowly creeping his way back into control of creative, as a lot of stuff is going on, like with a lot of rewrites and retools going on that were more done under McMahon's old regime there. People are worried that he might be getting back into things a little too much, and which apparently is starting to bring some of the morale down in WWE. And that would be a shame. A lot of the hard work that Triple H put in to try to bring, get the WWE back to performing well, for Vince to then come back in and retake control may not be looked at by wrestlers and fans as something that's all that keen. I do know that one of the things is that Triple H is looking to possibly book Raquel Rodriguez into more top tier programs, as they're looking to, as she's being one of the choices for the WWE to win the Money in the Bank, which will give her a potential for a title shot somewhere down the line. Raquel Rodriguez, at 6 feet tall, 176 pounds, is somebody who's looked at as got a real bright future in the WWE. Now, for those of you who've been wondering where Carmella's been, is recently they had Carmella involved in a storyline with Chelsea Green as a couple of Karens being just total headaches to Adam Pearce, the authority figure on Raw. Well, Carmella had there's speculation she may be nursing an injury, and that's why she hasn't been on of late. There was some talk that maybe there was some genuine heat backstage, but that's been somewhat denounced. And of course, they're still not sure what's going on with the whole Bray Wyatt, Bobby Lashley, match, whether or not that's still going to be going on. But I guess we'll wait and see for all that to kind of pan out. And as we make a transition from WWE AEW, Bill Goldberg's contract recently came up with the WWE. He's now a free agent, and there's been a lot of talk that Tony Khan might be interested in bringing Goldberg in to do some work with AEW. Of course, they brought in Jeff Jarrett towards the end of last year. Sting is still working there, kind of winding down his career, acting as a mentor to Darby Allin. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there with Goldberg. Let's see. Of course, AEW is of course, and some of their talent. As you know, Tony Khan runs both AEW and Ring of Honor now. As they're now prepping for Super Card of Honor, which is this Friday. And as such, I said there's this week is kind of a busy week in the world of professional wrestling. Tonight's Dynamite, you had tonight's Dynamite included Adam Cole making his return to AEW, his first match back. He's taking on Daniel Garcia. Ruby Soho taking on her former tag team partner Willow Nightingale. Orange Cassidy defending the AEW International title against Butcher of the Butcher and the Blade. Matt Hardy of the Firm taking on Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And let's see, the Blackpool Combat Club as they're continuing to turn heel, taking on Dalton Castle and the boys of former Ring of Honor World Stickman. And, of course, Kenny Omega defending the IWGP United States title against Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb, along with New Japan's Jeff Cobb, along with Aussie Open, have a busy week themselves ahead of them here. Jeff Cobb will be challenging Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship tonight on Dynamite in St. Louis. Then he'll come out to LA tomorrow at the Globe Theater in LA to challenge Moose at Impact Wrestling and Impact and New Japan's Multiverse United Only the Strong Survive match in a one-on-one match. Also on tomorrow night's Multiverse, one of the other matches happening tomorrow, and we'll go over the results of tonight and the full card for tomorrow as well, including the Impact show as well, and the Countdown show, as it were. We will, let's see. Because Impact will be having a live show tomorrow. As we said, Jeff Cobb will be taking on Kenny Omega, then coming to LA to challenge Moose, the former Impact World Champion, on Multiverse. And also happening at Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive. Aussie Open will be taking part in a four-way match four-way match for the Impact World Tag Team Champions, current champions Bullet Club of Ace Austin and Chris Bay will be defending against multi-time former champs, the Motor City Machine Guns of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, Aussie Open of Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, and TMDK, Bad Dude Tito, and Shane Haste. Aussie Open will then venture to, still stick around in LA. They'll be heading over to the Galen Center on Friday night to participate in Supercard of Honor. Well, they'll be involved in the Reach for the Sky ladder match to crown new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, as Mark Briscoe will be, of course, vacating the titles. As many of you know, his brother Jay passed away this past January in a car accident. He'll be, and they will be participating in the Reach for the Sky, which also will include, of course, the Lucha Brothers, Rey Fenix and Penta El Miedo Zero, the Ring of Honor version of La Facción Ingobernable of Rush and Drastico. The Kingdoms, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. The Martin brothers, Dante and Darius Martin, also known as Top Flight, will be participating in that match. But I think it's something like 4, 5, or 6 teams will be vying for the Ring of Honor tag titles. So, of course, Jeff Cobb and we have a second person in here. Hello. Jeff Cobb and Aussie Open, who are both with New Japan, will have busy weeks. So, you got Dynamite tonight. You got, and of course, along with the Dynamite taping, of course, apparently there's also, of course, the Rampage tapings happen tonight as well in St. Louis, along with, I think, along with even the Ring of Honor Honor Club tapings are happening tonight, along with Elevation as well, in St. Louis. Tomorrow night is Impact Wrestling, the live Impact, and then the pay-per-view Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive, which is a co-event being done with New Japan. Friday night, Supercard of Honor out here in the Galen Center on the campus of USC, University of Southern California. And then, with the WWE doing the Hall of Fame. And this year's Hall of Fame class thus far has 4 people in it: Rey Mysterio Jr., Great Muta, Andy Kaufman, and Stacy Keibler. And then Saturday and Sunday, WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. So quite a busy week here in the world of professional wrestling. And with that, there's also some talk that they may be, again, another little rumor here. They may be taking the title off of Roman Reigns. I've talked about this already a little bit earlier in the week, where they've been dropping hints they might be looking to end Roman Reigns' record, as unified champion, as there have been leaks of a new belt design that will be being used maybe by Cody if he's the one who does actually beat Roman. This could be a bait and switch, though. This could be a swerve. So just pay attention for all that. So now we're getting close to 1:15, so I think it's a good time to start wrapping up a little bit here. So today being Wednesday, March 29th, 2023, why don't we go ahead and take a look back at this day in Niche history. 73, 98, 33, and 94. Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in Niche history. So first off, we're going to head back 90 years ago, and on this date, 90 years ago, the Crazy Cat short, Bunnies and Bonnets, from basically from Charles Mintz Productions. I believe they were distributed by Columbia Pictures. Bunnies and Bonnets from Charles Mintz Productions was released in theaters on this date back in 1933. So 90 years ago today, the Crazy Cat animated short Bunnies and Bonnets from Charles Mintz Productions was published on this date back in 1933. So now moving ahead to 1973, which was just 50 years ago today. On this date, 50 years ago today, the 435th issue of Detective Comics went on sale on this date back in 1973. At this point, it was running bi-monthly. Batman, of course, was the main feature. The Spook Strikes Again, and Jason. The backup feature was Jason Bard, The Case of the Dead on Target. Interesting enough, there was the same writer for both of these stories. Frank Robbins was the one who wrote both of these stories. Of course, he had Irving Novick doing the penciling, and Dick Giordano penciling and inking the Batman story, and then Robbins did the artwork for the Jason Bard story. So on this date back in 1973, 50 years ago today, the 435th issue of Detective Comics. Kind of a nice color scheme there of the green and the purple, especially with the spook story going on. I guess the spook was another one of Batman's rogues that came about from the more um, PG era or G era of comics, the Comics Code Authority. So, with that now, getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history. We head to 1994 next. On this day in 1994, on this date in 1994, Sunrise's Shipue Iron Leaguer, which translates as Whirlwind Iron Leaguer, would complete its run. The series would complete its run on this date back in 1994, 29 years ago today. The series started in 1993, in April of 1993, but it would complete its run, 52 episodes on this date in 1994. Let's see. Shipue Iron Leaguer, Whirlwind Iron Leaguer, is an anime television series produced by Sunrise, directed by Tetsuro Amino, and featuring mecha designs by Kunio Okawara. It premiered spanning. Okay, so we got through all that. Not much more can be said of the plot, I guess. Basically, it was a mecha sports um, anime. So on this date, 29 years ago today, um, the Sunrise produced anime Whirlwind Iron Leaguer um, would complete its run on this date back in 1994. So with that now, and as we were talking about how WrestleMania is happening this weekend, we go back to 1998, 25 years ago today. On this date, 25 years ago today, WrestleMania 14 happened on this date. WrestleMania 14, of course, happening at the Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts. This is, of course, the main where Mike Tyson was the special enforcer for the main event in the WWF Championship match between Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin. As initially it was thought that Tyson had aligned himself with Michaels, but as if y'all remember, he turned on Michaels, the victory, and became the new WWF champion. The Battle of the Brothers, Undertaker defeated Kane in the dumpster match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie defeated the New Age Outlaws of Billy Gunn and Road Dogg Jesse James, only for the decision to be overturned on the following evening, I believe, due to the fact that apparently Jack and Charlie had locked the Outlaws in the wrong dumpster. The Rock retained the Intercontinental Championship by disqualification over Ken Shamrock. In a mixed tag match, Mark Mero and Sable defeated the artist formerly known as Goldust and Luna. Taka Michinoku retained the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship over Aguila. Triple H retained the European Championship over Owen Hart. The show started off with a 15-team battle royal in which LOD 2000 of Hawk and Animal with Sunny in their corner, winning it, last eliminating the new Midnight Express of Bombastic Bob, a.k.a. Bob Holly, and Bodacious Bart, a.k.a. Bart Gunn, a.k.a. Mike Barton, who had Jim Cornette. This was, of course, around the time of the quote-unquote NWA invasion. angle. So, and as we have been reminded on many occasions from James Lee, WWE still has a contractual title shot, you know, at the NWA World Championship. So Billy Corgan may have to honor that at some point. He may not be too happy with that. But I don't know if anybody even the WWE is going to want to take on Tyrus. He's kind of big and bad, and if they didn't like having him on their programming before, But anyways, well, we're at an hour 22 here, so I thank you guys for popping in. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I will have an announcement about the show on Friday. Of course, as you know, this Friday we'll be doing our historical comic retrospect. RJ Carter from Critical Blast will be joining me as we'll be introducing you guys to Lev Gleason. I will also have an announcement in regards to show moving forward, particularly in regards to the Monday through Thursday portions of the show. So with that, I thank you guys for being here tonight, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.